Hey guys, so this is my first time videoing, and today this is September the 9th, I believe, and we're going to get out to Marine Corps Base Quantico. We're going to try to scout out some land. Scouted a little bit yesterday, found one really nice trail. It seems like this is a lot like back home, like southern West Virginia. There may be a lot of deer, but for some reason there's not a lot of deer sign. So when you find a really good path, it seems like it's probably going to be pretty decent. So yesterday found a way get into my tree stand location, but today we're using that alternate access route to see maybe if I don't have to cut through the swamp as much where I think they might be bedding. So yeah, we're just gonna get after today, look at some more places, and I'll keep you updated. Golden Gate in San Francisco, Seattle's Puget Sound. Been a long time traveling, rolling on from town. A little update, guys. So been probably walking 30-45 minutes. Found one little spot on the way here. Looks decent, looks a lot like home. It's more of a small little subtle oak flat, but it's got a few little ridges and hollers in it, and it's got some bedding down low. So that's a possible. It's going to be a little closer to the truck just in case I have a late evening getting off work. I can just go there and stop by real quick. But we're just going to stop by. I want to show you what it looks like on the onX hunting map. So the little red dot is me right there on the right, and the blue trail is where I've walked. Right down here is where my tree stand bedding locations and trails that I've went so far. That's where they're at, so kind of making my way that way. If you look right here on the topo map, I like the way this hollow right here looks, and hopefully this trail leads to that, so we can check that out too. It'll be another stop on the way. Hey guys, finally made it to the deer stand where I want to have my main deer stand. It's a little long hike in here. The access road that I was on, it brought me pretty close, but I ended up having to navigate through the woods a little bit just to get here. So I know there's a trail up here. See where it connects, if it connects to the same trail I was on. Hopefully it does. Right now I had to change shirts on the way here. A little warm, sweating a little bit. So, drink of water. Alright, so what I want to do now, I want to show you my tree, where I'm going to put my tree stand, basically why I'm putting it there, and then I will show you the trail and just show you a little bit about this area. So if you're looking right here, this is going to be my tree, this one right here with the big knot on the back. Try to get probably about 20-25 feet up, and if I stand at this tree, I can't get up in it now, obviously, because I don't have a tree stand in it. If I get up in this tree, right down there where that little green bush is, it's going to be, that's about where the trail is. And I'll take you down here and show you where the trail is. So basically, this is the trail. And this is one of the better trails that I've found in this whole area. And I actually believe when I just navigated through the woods, I actually think it just connected to this trail on the back side of this ridge. And it was really good back there as well. So try to set up some cameras here on this trail, set up some cameras on that back trail because I think they bed back there. I'm almost in one of the most perfect situations I've ever seen. So I'm right here, right in the middle. If I look in this direction, straight up through there, up on top of that ridge, it's real thick bedding. It's a lot of pine saplings. Back over here where this trail goes directly towards, and where I just came from, it's a lot of pine. It's a little branch that runs through there. It's real thick undercover on the backside. And then if you face this way, that would be directly behind my tree stand, straight back over there, and you can probably see a little bit of it, but it gets really, really thick right on back there, probably about 75 to 100 yards. And then if you follow this trail down the ridge, down the holler, it's going to take you straight to this swamp. I walked through this swamp yesterday, and that's why I tried to find another access yesterday or today. It's probably the thickest stuff I've ever been through in my life. It may come close to McDowell County, but I don't think it's quite there yet. But it's real thick, real wet. So basically, why I like this spot is because it's one of the better trails that I found, and they're really using it. And it's coming up into this oak flat that they're feeding on. And I'm literally right in the middle of 4 potential bedding spots. So hopefully early season it'll produce while they're still feeding on acorns, and then obviously as the season progresses, that rut kicks in. You got your bedding areas real close, and your does are going to be going from food to bed, and those bucks are going to run them to the beds. So we'll see what happens. If you look up through here, this is the main oak flat that they're feeding on. It's a lot of white oak. And I've seen quite a few acorns so far. Not a whole lot, but they're starting to drop a little bit. All right, so another thing I want to mention, before when I hunted, I never really had a real nice fancy thermos or anything like that. I always just brought water bottles. And after working on the range this year, I really realized it was pretty important to keep your drinks cool. Like, I mean, it's important to have water, but it's really nice to keep it cool. But even keeping stuff warm, it works too. So this year I'm definitely going to be using this hydro flask. I'm going to fill it with water, or I'll fill it with coffee in the mornings, just depending on what I feel like doing. But I really recommend the hydro flask. You keep your drinks cold all day. It holds ice all day while I'm on the range. 100-degree heat, teaching lieutenants how to shoot. And using that old handy dandy Gerber saw. Had this thing since I was probably in, well, my dad had it. I somehow acquired it, but had it probably since I was in 4th, 5th grade, something like that. So it's still working good for me. I'm gonna try to attempt to climb this tree to saw off this one little branch. It's in one of my shooting lanes. Yeah, we're about to see how this goes. It's gonna work. Actually worked a lot better than I thought it would. Thank God I had that little stump right there to stand on. All right, so we're back. Finally finished up trimming up some shooting lanes. I left my tree pretty secluded on one part, or on one side. I know there's a possibility of deer going there, but I'm honestly hoping to catch them before they hit that spot. Hoping to hit them more down in this direction. My tree stand's gonna be directly behind me. I know a lot back home, these birch trees, those leaves stay on for a long time, and they usually typically have these low hanging limbs like this. So a lot of times back home, those are the trees that bucks tend to make scrapes on. So I don't know why. I guess it may be just the low hanging limbs, and then it seems like there's always birch trees around deer trails back home on some spots, and then especially here there's a lot more birch trees. But there's one really good birch tree right there, right above my trail. There's a bunch scattered down along the trail there, and there's a bunch scattered up here. So I think I'm pretty well off with my setup. Like I said before, I've got bedding behind me. I've got bedding to my right, just over the ridge. I've got bedding on top of this ridge directly kind of in front of me at a 45-degree angle to my right. And then down below me to my left is that swamp that I talked about earlier. Real thick. I'm hoping to get trail cameras out here very soon. Leaving for my wedding Thursday the 19th, I believe. And then I'll be back from Hawaii on the 30th. So season up here doesn't open until the 5th of October. I'm not really planning on getting out here too early, just because I know up here in Northern Virginia it's going to be a little warmer. Bugs are still going to be out, leaves are still going to be out, acorns still be falling. So hoping that maybe before I get back, there's 1 or 2 good cold snaps and it gets some of this stuff off the trees, gets the bugs gone. But right now it's just a waiting game. I'm gonna try to get up here, throw out some trail cameras on some different trails that I found. I'm gonna take you through my Onyx hunting app real quick, just show you kind of the area that I've been hunting. So I don't know, let me see. So basically right here, if you zoom in, that's the deer trail. I got bedding up here that I've marked in my tree stand location there. Down here in this holler, down towards that creek is where that main bedding is. And then this is the whole area that I've worked today and yesterday. So I've worked a lot of area, but now it's just about putting it all together. Alright, so we're going to get out of here. Next time I video, we're going to be setting up trail cameras on these trails. And hopefully I get some pictures, let you guys kind of see what we're looking at up here. I've heard some really good stories about this place on base, and I've seen some really good ones back in the winter when hunting season was out. But this will be my first full year hunting up here, so we're gonna see if we can make it happen. It's better than driving all the way back home just to hunt for one day, then head back up to base. But I want to give a shout out to Appalachian Outdoor Addicts. I know they just got started up and probably going to be a pretty big thing. Hopefully it works out for them, and then maybe one day, hey, put me on camera. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so welcome back out. Not too far from where my stand locations are, but quite a ways. I'm gonna have to mark this location and see what I can scout out in this area, but these are pretty fresh. I don't remember seeing these this morning. Pretty solid tracks.